Yeah. Young Tunch. Searching
This is
all
not
around.
Tunchi.
Yeah. I've been finding God in the pain and the scars. In the rear view mirror, some real fast cars. I'm a prayer loud in the money tall. I was lost in the dark, now I'm learning to walk. Yeah. Finding God in the sins I confess. In the nights I survive when I feel my chest stress. Still a sinner, I'm trying my best. Yeah. I've been finding God, I ain't perfect, I'm blessed. I was baptized in the fire, not the water. Cold world, so my heart got harder. Devil whispering deals like a bottle, but my soul too heavy for his order. I done seen angels wearing no wings. Just a smile from my mama when the phone rang. Every tear turned diamonds in the chain. Every loss wrote a chapter in my brain. I talk to God with my eyes closed tight. Ask him why the wrong feel right. Why the strong don't sleep at night. Why the truth always start a fight. Mirror talk, that's a sermon to me. I'm a walking contradiction, wordplay and belief. I sin by the day, I repent by the week. Still learning how to crawl, but I'm standing on faith. I've been finding God in the pain and the scars. In the rearview mirror, some real fast cars. All my prayers louder than the money talk. I was lost in the dark, now I'm burning the wall. Yeah. Finding God in the sins I confess. In the nights I survive when I feel my chest stress. Still a sinner, but I'm trying my best. Yeah. I've been finding God, I ain't perfect, I'm blessed. Cross on my neck with the weight of my mind. Past trying to catch me, but I'm faster with time. Every tattoo got a story to tell. Some came from heaven, some straight from hell. I laugh with the devil, cry with the saints. Mix champagne with tears and drink my mistakes. They judge my walk, never walk in my shoes. I talk to God in the booth, there's the truth in the news. Success feel good, but it don't heal scars. Money don't listen when your heart wanna talk. So I kneel in silence, no cameras, no stars. Just me and my God, having words in the dark. If heaven got gates, hope they open for me. I ain't live like a preacher, but I love like a G. Forgive my wrongs, know my heart wanna be closer to you than the man I used to be. If I fall, let me fall on my knees. If I fly, let me fly with belief. I've been dancing with death, making peace. Now I'm praying for life, yeah, I'm praying for peace. I've been finding God in the pain and the scars. In the rearview mirror, some real fast cars. All my prayers louder than the money talk. I was lost in the dark, now I'm learning to walk. Yeah. Finding God in the sins I confess. In the nights I survive when I felt my chest stress. Still a sinner, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, I've been finding God. I ain't perfect, I'm blessed. Yeah, finding God at a destination. It's a journey. I'm still on the road.
Check, check, check. All right. I'd like to get through. What the heck was that? Oh, it's a garbage truck. Ugh. All right. I'd like to finish Proverbs today, but I'm a little sleepy. So I don't know if it's going to happen. I didn't make any coffee. We'll see. Well, we got 10, 11 chapters. We can get that done. We can knock that out. Oh, there's short chapters too. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe we get through it. Maybe we don't. Ecclesiastes is short. Ecclesiastes is only 11 chapters. We'd probably get through Ecclesiastes in a day. What's up, re-examination? Song of Solomon is short. We could almost do Ecclesiastes and Song of Solomon in one day. And I already have a whole breakdown of Song of Solomon a long time ago. Might be able to do those 2 in a day. And then we're back to Isaiah. Caught up to where I started. Isaiah and Jeremiah are pretty big. I don't think I've ever read all of Jeremiah. I've read Daniel. I've done a whole stream on Hosea. Hosea is Gomer? Gomer and Hosea? No, that's Gomer and Daniel, Hosea, Job, Amos, Obadiah. Oh yeah. Did a whole yeah, I did a whole stream on Hosea already. I did a whole stream on Jonah. All right. I don't know if I've ever read Micah or Habakkuk. See, a lot of these little books at the end of the Old Testament, like Malachi, Habakkuk, Micah, Zechariah, Haggai. These are ones that I've read bits and pieces of, but I never read all the way through. And it's not like they're big. I just never went through them. Nahum. All right. Anyway, I'm just looking ahead. We're almost close to the Old Testament. Once you get through Isaiah and Jeremiah, it's smooth sailing from there. Well, no, Ezekiel's pretty long too. Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Jeremiah. Once we get through those 3, they're all pretty short. And I've done whole streams on a lot of them already. Daniel. I think I did a stream on Daniel. Well, I've done Daniel in the Lion's Den, and I've done Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which I think is in Daniel. The fiery furnace, the Lion's Den. Maybe it's not. The fiery furnace. Is that in Daniel? Vision of the 4 beasts. Daniel in the Lion's Den. Yeah, it's Daniel 2 or Daniel 3. They're not referenced much. Yeah, that's why I never really read through them. They're all short. It's just I never read the Bible from beginning to end. I always read books or I would jump around. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Technically, I've never read the whole Bible, but I've read 95% of it. And a lot of it I've read many, many, many times. Like everything in the New Testament I've read a lot. But there's certain little books I just never read. Like those ones that I mentioned. Well, I never thought of it as like a front to back book. But people always say, "Did you read the Bible?" You haven't even read the Bible cover to cover. I read it cover to cover 3 times. Like, okay, whatever, dude. Yeah. I had to make reference to Shadrach in the debate this past Sunday. Your slavery debate. Yeah, I listened to some of it. I kind of disagree with you. I don't think the Bible ever. Well, I don't remember what the prompt was, but I don't think the Bible. It explicitly forbids certain types of slavery, but then other times it justifies slavery. I don't think slavery is moral or immoral. I think that's the thing that Christians kind of are post hoc uh, covering up for because they're ashamed to just say slavery is not always bad. Sometimes it's the best thing. Sometimes it's what's necessary. Sometimes it's the right thing to do. But they don't want to say that because it looks bad. And if Christians said that, then people would think that Christians were hateful, evil, racist bigots. So we have to kind of like cover up for it. But no, sometimes I think slavery is the right thing to do. And sometimes the Bible justifies it. Sometimes God commands it. So I kind of, but I don't know what your prompt. The prompt was something about morality, or does the Bible morally justify slavery? I don't know. Depending on how the prompt was worded, I don't know if maybe I agree with you, but does the P and G being in capital letters matter? I don't know, Auntie. It's not the time for that. All right, let's get into this. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the front fire. How did that song go? Into the fiery furnace they will let you go. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. How did that song go? Into the fiery furnace they were sent to go. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We used to sing that song. I don't remember how it goes. All right. Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. That's repeating Kings. Men without a king, men do right in their own eyes. Where's my highlighter? I wonder if it has a note. A. A. No, it's pointing me to John and Revelation. Where is my highlighter? I gotta think. Where is it at? One of my favorite proverbs blow people's minds is Proverb 21:1. Oh. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Facts. Yeah, I referenced this in a debate I did about Christians and politics. Somebody said the prompt was something like Christians shouldn't be political, or Christianity should not be political, or something like that. And I said it's not that it should be political, it's that it inevitably is political because they go hand in hand. And I pointed to things like this. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Yeah, people, I don't know, people, and then this, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. So there's a section of, I believe it might be it might be 1st or 2nd Samuel. It's one of those 4 books of kingdoms, but every chapter ends with there was no king, so the men did what was right in their own eyes. Where are we? We're on Proverbs 21. Yeah, I've always said God establishes the authorities on earth, even the bad ones. And that's sometimes what we deserve. If we get the leaders we deserve, sometimes people need a thump on the head. And so we get a bad king, we get a bad ruler. The people disobey, you get a bad king. And then maybe you get a good king and he brings you back, or you come back and then you get a good king. But God's in charge of all that. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. And high look and a proud heart and the plowing of the wicked is sin. You know, everybody always says John 3 tells us, I think it's John 3:4, tells us the definition of sin. But there's other verses that say different definitions of sin. So is sin lawlessness, or is sin the plowing of the wicked? Because that's what Proverbs says sin is. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but to everyone that is hasty only to want. Oh, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The way of man is froward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in I like this is the nagging woman. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The corner of the housetop. So I think the way that they explain that to somebody explained that to me is like in the attic. But I don't know if they had attics back then. So I don't know if this means to sit on the corner of your roof. But when I think of it, I think of the attic, you know, in the back corner of the attic where the roof comes together. It's just like a tight little dark hot corner with with uh with insulation. It's itchy. It's a tiny little space. It's hot. At least in Florida, it was hot. But either way, it's better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. It's better to live on the corner of your roof than to live with a woman in a big mansion, a brawling woman in a big mansion. The soul of the wicked desireth evil; his neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. Ooh, that's fire. A gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contemptuous and an angry woman. Dude, there's so much stuff in Proverbs about women. It's funny how it leads you through and it gives you all these like stuff about the nagging woman and the brawling and the angry woman and a woman's wrath and all this stuff. But then you get to the very last chapter and then it's like, okay, we know for the last, 30 chapters, we've given you all these examples of how much it sucks to live with a not nice lady. But then in 31, it's like, here's the nice lady. Here's your example of the nice lady. You thought we weren't going to give you an example of a nice lady. You thought we were just going to be misogynist and complain about women the whole time. No, no, no. At the very end, there is a righteous woman. Well, maybe not a righteous woman, but at least a decent woman. In all my days of seeking and not finding, I found one righteous man among 1,000 and no righteous women among them all. But there is a decent woman. I have bribe behind my back. I have bribe behind my back. I don't know what that means. There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and casteth down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. That's a tough one, because we also know that, what's the verse? No man can tame the tongue, or something like that. 21:14. A gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. I have bribe behind back. Oh, it says a bribe behind the back pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. Huh. Where's Rev? Oh, he's right there. What's up, Rev? Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. Don't be lazy. He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. And I think it means constantly as in firmly, like constant, like constitution, like strength, like firmly, not like he just talks all the time. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. Nice. Chapter 22. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches and loving favor, rather than silver and gold. Oh, wait. I read that wrong. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. That's better. That's how it reads. Okay. I put that comma in the wrong place. The rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. Nice. I like that. The rich and the poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches and honor and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them. I like this one. 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he was old, he will not depart from it. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I will listen to interrogation of, there's these two brothers, and they like murdered their whole family pretty viciously. And they were planning on doing like mass, like traveling around and doing mass murders all over the place. And The video of the interrogation of the one brother dropped a long time ago, but the interrogation of the other brother, who was more like the ringleader or the bigger brother, the influencer, that interrogation just dropped. And I don't know why this made me think of it, but it says, train up your child in the way you should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Nice. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scorner, and contention shall go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the great he that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. The eyes of the Lord preserve knowledge, and he overthroweth the words of the transgressor. The slothful man saith, there is a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets. The slothful man saith, there is a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets. Oh, here we go. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. Oh, no. That sounds inappropriate. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Lord shall fall therein. Oh, man. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Lord shall fall therein. Oh, no. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. Look at that. Spare the rod, spoil the child again. Actually, I'm going to make a note there. Where's my pen? Now I don't know where my pen is. I need to turn off my heat. Spare the rod, spoil the child again. Everybody always points to that one, so it's nice to have extra ones on hand. I don't know why I'm writing this note, because there's probably a little... Oh, no, there's not. Never mind. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee. They shall withal be fitted in thy lips. That thy trust may be in the Lord, I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. Have not I written to thee excellent things and counsels and knowledge, that I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that send unto thee? Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted at the gate, in the gate. For the Lord will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoiled them. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. That's what JLP says that all the time, and everybody's like, that's not in the Bible. Okay. You can't trust an angry man. Angry man is a murderer. Lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debts. Debts. Blah, blah, blah. Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debts. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee? Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Mean men, 5, or obscure men. Obscure men. Hola, Abby. Nice. Chapter 23. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. There's another one. See, we point to ones like spare the rod, spoil the child because it's catchy, but there's much more specific, descriptive, obvious ones like 23:13. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. He's not going to die if you spank him. Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell. Spanking your kids delivers their soul from hell. And somebody will be like, oh, you're not interpreting that correctly. Tell me how to interpret that then. I know how to read. My son, if thine heart be wise, mine heart shall rejoice. My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. Yea, my reign shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Be not among winebibbers. Winebibbers. What's a winebibber? Discipline in court with punishment with parameters necessary for those who refuse who can't read. Yeah. What's a winebibber? Like a drunkard? I'm assuming it means like a drunkard. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't mean punch him in the face repeatedly. That's not what it means. What is it's on his debates on Swords of Reason. It was last night or the night before, something like that. What is a wine bibber? I'm guessing it's a drunkard. A wine bibber. A habitual drinker of alcohol. Figures. Dang, I got to work on that. I'm a bit of a wine bibber. Be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to. I wonder if they're riotous eaters of flesh. Is that a cannibalism reference? Riotous eaters of flesh. 23:20. Probably not, but maybe. Warns against those who overindulge. Oh, so it's gluttons. Gluttons and drunkards, basically. I thought I was talking about cannibalism there. For the drunkard and oh my gosh, I hate when I do that. I hate when I'm like thinking and I'm like, I wonder what that means. Let me think about it. Let me Google it and oh look, Google says I'm right. Wow, interesting. And then the very next verse, it has the answer right there. Look. Where was it? Be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. So I just said, so it's like they're talking about drunkards and gluttons. It's right there. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Yep. Honor your parents. Despise not thy mother when she is old. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee. Your birth father. You can't hate your earthly father, your birth father, and love God. How can you love the Father when you don't even love the Son? And men are sons of God. Not the only begotten sons of God, but not Jesus, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Eating in excess. Got it. Hold on a second. I gotta turn my heat off. It's too hot in here. Drive, baby, drive, drive, baby, drive, just drive. Where was I? We got a good one coming up. If that's your lifestyle. Well, considering I used to drink like half a gallon of vodka a day, and now I drink like a beer a day and maybe a little bit extra beer on the weekends. You know, it's it's much better. I don't even think I get drunk off beer. Well, I can, but usually I don't. I might get a little buzzed, but I ain't getting drunk. I ain't looking like a sailor at the mast, swaying to and fro, waking up with red eyes. So I don't know if I would be considered a drunkard. I just drink some beer. Where is buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begatteth a wise child shall have joy in him. Well, I need to highlight this real quick. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman a narrow pit is a narrow pit. Dude, the Bible is savage sometimes. She also, it's not done yet. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men. Who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babbling? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? See, I was just talking about the redness of eyes. They that tarry long at wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. Look not upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. At the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. This is very true. Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. See, I was just quoting Proverbs, and I didn't even know it when I was talking about the red eyes and like a sailor at the mast. I know what I'm talking about. I didn't know that it was in the next couple verses, but yeah, I've talked about this a lot before. I think I didn't do a debate about it, but I did a stream about it years ago where I was talking about, is it okay for Christians to drink? And the conclusion we came to was yes, but you can't be a drunkard. You can't be walking around like this. When it says a sailor at the mast or someone who lieth in the sea is like when you're walking like this. Because if you're a sailor at the mast, you like this. And then when you lie down and everything starts spinning, that's when you lie. It's like you're at sea. I think of the narrow pit as a place a man falls and becomes irrecoverably stuck, like a leg broken. Ugh. But yeah, when you're waking up with red eyes, when you're walking around like this, that's when you got a problem. It doesn't suggest kings drink. Where do you get that from? Oh, it is not for kings. Oh, you're talking. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for rulers to crave beer. Crave beer. New Living Translation says crave beer. There's no such thing as beer back. Is that 31:4? That's not what it says. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. I'm of heavy heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty. Remember his misery no more. Why am I skipping ahead? Um, but so Proverbs 31:4 warns against it, but let's see. Daniel 5:1-4. King Belshazzar's profane banquet. That's probably not a good thing. Ben Hadad's drunken battle preparations in 1 Kings 20:16. And Ahasuerus' lavish feast in Esther 1. So David got Uriah drunk to hide his adultery with Bathsheba in 2 Samuel. But that was not a good thing. Yeah, so you think you're actually right for once, Marilyn. I think you're actually right for once, Marilyn. There are kings who drink, but it's usually not a good thing. And as we said with polygamy, if kings aren't supposed to drink, then I'm not supposed to drink. I'm working on it, okay? I've been working on it for like 10 years. I'm working on God's time, not my time. I need that whole section. I like that whole section right there. That whole section is I think I've done went through this verse by verse and talked about it years ago. Let's see. Precepts and warnings. So this whole verse is this whole chapter is pretty much about drinking. And when you drink, you get with strange women. And that's no bueno. Dang it, this highlighter is not working anymore. Where's my other highlighter? I have like 5 highlighters. Drive, baby, drive, drive, baby, drive, just drive. Drive, drive, drive. In my down. I need this little thing like printed on a card and then put it in my wallet in front of my bank card. So then every time I go to buy beer, I have to pull that card out. I should do that. I should make those. For once? Yeah, for once. You're right for once. Chapter 34. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them, for their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Through through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate. He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. The thought of foolishness is sin. The thought of foolishness is sin. Dang. What heresy Bible am I reading from? The King James. Where was that? I like that. Where was that? The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. That's a dumb thing to say, though, TVT. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain, if thou sayest, Behold, we knew it not, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, doth he not know it? Doth not he know it? Same thing. And shall not he render to every man according to his works? My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul when thou hast found it. Then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Lay not wait, a wicked man, against the dwellings of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. You read a passage from some weird Bible? It's the King James Version. Where was I? My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. He won't be happy unless I'm reading from this Bible. As if I don't have like 20 different Bibles. Yeah, I know some translations are bad, but he shouldn't automatically assume that. My son, eat thou honey because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste. They like that. They like these Bibles because they don't read the Bible; they read the footnotes. They need the footnotes. From the new something, you read something from the new something. I don't know. Read something from the new something. Oh! You're talking. See, this is what happened. See, my bad. I misunderstood. See, sometimes I misunderstand what chat's saying, and I assume people are just attacking me. So I react as if I'm being attacked. My bad. You're talking about the one that the New Living Translation that said something about drinking beer. And I was like, beer? When in the Bible does it talk about beer? Yeah, the New Living Translation. Yes, the NLT. I would not recommend anybody read that one. My bad. I misunderstood your comment. It happens with the chat sometimes. I can't read your tone. And also, people are delayed and they might be responding to something. Okay, okay. My bad, my bad, my bad. That was my fault. Where was I? Social. Uh, I read the footnotes and find out that the EO Church agrees with me on some basic stuff, though I never attended liturgy. I have. I like it. I would go every week. I was going every week for a while, but then my truck broke down. So now I just go to the church that's like 2 blocks away because I can walk there. But once I get a new whip, I'll be going back to the Orthodox Church again. I don't plan on becoming a catechumen. I just like going to it better than the other church. I will say though, if I wanted to find friends and like possibly a attractive wife, the Protestant one is the way to go. But if I want an actual like church experience, the Orthodox one's the way to go. I prefer the Orthodox one, but if it's just for socialization, the Protestant one right over there by the park, that's the way to go. It's like a little mini mega church. It's not a mega church, but it's kind of like a mega church. It's like a mini mega church. And almost the whole service is just like, Holy Jesus, yeah, we pray. Like that's like the whole service. Ever gone to Reformed Baptist? I don't know. I grew up in Florida and we went to I was raised Baptist, but I don't know. We didn't call it Reformed Baptist. We just called it First Baptist. It was the first one. I went to the first. Do you know I went to the First Baptist church? At least that's what they said. Mega church is light and fluffy at best. But I really don't like the holier than thou types on YouTube. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I thought you were one of those. Um, when I read that comment, I thought you were one of those, but my bad. What are you then? A Catholic? No, the one that I go to now because it's really close. It's like 2 blocks away, and it's right by Liberty Park, which is where all the hippies and like the druggies hang out and homeless people. Uh, that church is packed with. It's packed like with young people, very friendly. Like the first time I went there, everybody's like, "Hey, what you doing here? Welcome, nice to meet you. Hey, can I pray with you?" Some guy prayed with me. That was nice. And then a lot of young ladies, and I was like, "Okay, okay, I see the appeal." But no, I prefer to go to the liturgy, but it's just too far till I get a whip. Um, it's just more. It feels more serious. Uh, I don't know. What about a Protestant who goes to Orthodox services with you? Yeah. I mean, I guess they would consider me a Protestant who goes to Orthodox services. I don't consider myself a Protestant, but people have told me if I'm not an Orthodox and I'm not a Catholic, that means I'm a Protestant. So, according to that definition, if that's what it means, then I guess I'm a Protestant. But I don't protest the Orthodox Church if I go to an Orthodox church. JS, just read your Bible. Oh my goodness, Marilyn. Um, My son, I've read this one like 8 times. Where are we at? 14? So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul. When thou hast found it, then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. I like that. That go hard. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth, lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him. Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked. Hold on 1 second. For there shall be no reward to the evil man. The candle of the wicked shall be put out. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both? These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. He that saith unto the wicked, Thou art righteous, him shall the people curse. Nations shall abhor him. But to them that rebuke him shall he delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them. Every man shall kiss his lips that giveth a right answer. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause. Don't be a snitch, and, and deceive not with thy lips. Say not, I will do so to him as he hath done to me. I will render to the man according to his work. Will do so to him as he hath done to me. I will render to the man according to his works. I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding, and lo, it was all grown over with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down. Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. A lot of don't be lazy in Proverbs. 25. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver. As an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him. For he refresheth the soul of his masters. So is a faithful messenger to them that send him. Whoso boasteth himself at a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. By long forbearings is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. Don't go living at your neighbor's house for too long. Yeah, this is true. This is true. I like the head coverings too. I like the full burqa. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Whoso boasteth himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind. I already read that. Where was I? I'm way past that. Oh, yeah. 18. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul and a sword and a sharp arrow. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather and as vinegar upon neater, so is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat, and if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. The north wind driveth away rain, so doth an angry countenance a backbiting tongue. And here we go again with the housetop. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wine house and in a wide house. That's the same one twice. Did I go backwards? No. It's just repeating it. As cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled foundation and a corrupt spring. It is not good to eat much honey. So for men to search their own glory is not glory. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Oh, implying that it's good for a city to have walls? Soft tongue breaketh bone is in my mind a lot. Convicting for those of us who are more blunt. Yeah, I have noticed, and that's why I sit in my streams and hang out with people like Shiva and Freddie and Goon and just talk to them. And we can argue about Bible stuff. Like Goon and Shiva started reading the Bible. Now they're reading it to argue with me and disprove me about stuff, but they're reading the Bible. And it's because I don't like just attack them. And that's why I got a little irritated when Chris came in. He's like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Jazz. Let me handle this." And then it just turned into yelling at each other, and everybody's like insulting each other and yelling at each other. I don't know. That's not the way I work. That's not the way I work. You know, I'll work on people for 4 years. Talk to them every day. And or when like somebody's like, "Why do you have somebody like Marilyn in your chat?" Just give it time. Yeah. I'm planting seeds. It's God's job to give the growth. Shiva and I had exchange on Red's debate. After panel, I think we have mutual understanding, as somebody said now. Yeah, Shiva's cool. He's cool for a gay theist. As far as gay theists go, he's a pretty cool one. Chapter 26. I want to get through this. You say I'm wrong all the time. You are. Chapter 26. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. Yep, fools don't get no honor. But I have seen Utah, we might get snow in the summer randomly sometimes. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. Huh. I don't really understand that. What does that mean? A curse without cause shall not come? I don't know. Stop it, Marilyn. Stop it. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Stop. You are being crazy. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. I don't answer fools according to their folly. Lest thou also be like unto her. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. Drinketh damage. That go hard. I like that. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. Hold on, there's a note here. Or violence. And drinketh violence. Drinketh violence. The legs of the lame are not equal. So is a parable in the mouth of fools. So wait, if a fool tells a parable, it's basically like legs on somebody who can't walk. I like that. I like that verse. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Phew. Dang. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than in him. A man wise in his own conceit, meaning he's not really wise, but he thinks he's wise of himself. He's worse off than a fool. Curse without cause, being damning of others for no reason. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. Yeah, it's easier. The fools, yeah, that makes sense. Because it's easier to be convinced of something, a lie or a truth, that you don't know. You're just a fool. You don't know. It's easier to convince you of the truth. Whereas somebody who's been convinced of a lie, it's harder to convince them of the truth. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is oh, I already read that like 3 times. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way. A lion is in the streets. As the door turneth upon its hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom. It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. So the lazy person thinks that he's wiser than 7 actually wise men think that they are. If he is vain in giving himself more authority than others. Yes, I think that's what a lot of this is about. Yeah. Basically being conceited and thinking you know it all. Which I think a lot of us sometimes fall into that. You got to be careful of that. Where was I? He that passeth by and meddleth with strife, belonging not to him, is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. Bad idea to grab a dog by the ears, by the way. Especially back then, those dogs were big and scary. As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am not I in sport? Sport. Ephesians. No, it's not telling me. Huh. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. So true. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. What do they mean by talebearer? Like a storyteller or like a gossiper? I think it means a gossiper. Talebearer Bible. A malicious gossip or slanderer who spreads harmful rumors. Yep. See? You see? I know what I'm talking about. I'm not being conceited in my own wisdom. I just have studied. I've studied myself approved. Where was I? Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. Wait, did I skip one? The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down to the innermost parts of the belly. Okay, yeah. 24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. I like both of those verses. I mean, adverse. How much we got left? We're on 27. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. I got 40 minutes. 4 pages and 40 minutes. That's a page every 10 minutes. Let's get it. Chapter 27. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. I love that. I say that all the time. Well, it's also many other times throughout the Bible. Take no thought of tomorrow. Tomorrow, what does it say? Take no thought of tomorrow, because tomorrow can has enough. Tomorrow, take no thought of tomorrow. Tomorrow, I forget the word, but basically, tomorrow worries about itself. Tomorrow's got its own problems. Don't you worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's got itself handled. Let another man praise thee and not thine own mouth, a stranger and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Huh. That's interesting. Open rebuke is better than secret love. What's up, Abe? Who are you talking about, Marilyn? Hold on, I'm not in live chat, maybe. Oh yeah. Avarice, come on, this is Bible time. See, I couldn't see it because I wasn't in live chat. Bible time is PG, Avarice. Cut it out. We're reading Proverbs, so she's going to get plenty of that straight from the Bible. Don't worry. You don't have to do it. The book's got it. I love you doesn't tell you uncomfortable truths. Yeah. Open rebuke, or an open rebuke could be like a correction, like correcting somebody openly. And that's more valuable than just like loving them from afar or like, yeah. Yep. Okay. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loaneth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity, for better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. Strange woman. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice riseth early in the morning. It shall be counted a curse to him. O rising early. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse to him. What does that one mean? Those who care about risk of friendship stop. Yeah. Yep. Here, this. See, Iris. Let the Bible handle this. She'll hear it. A continual dropping in a rainy day, and a contemptuous woman are alike. A contemptuous woman, is like a leaky roof, just dripping all day. Droop. That's a contemptuous woman all day. Just imagine that all day. Whosoever hideth her, wait, 16. Whosoever hideth her, oh, wait, I got to go back to 15. A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contemptuous woman are alike. Whosoever hideth her, hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand, which bewrayeth itself, bewrayeth itself. What's bewrayeth itself? Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Hold on, what's bewrayeth mean? Come on, Avarice, stop. I said stop. Now I'm gonna put you in timeout for 5 minutes. Quit doing that. You're not the lady police of my chat. I don't care if you don't like her, but stop that. Bible time. Save that for like Saturday night or something. Plus it's annoying. Where's what am I looking for? Bewrayeth. Bewrayeth. And I'm not pronouncing it bewrayeth. Bewrayeth is an archaic English term meaning to betray. Okay. Reveal, disclose, or to make visible. Figures. So it's kind of just what it sounds like. Whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof. So he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. Lady police. I'm the lady police. We got a Bible to be the lady police. Just listen. As in water, Iris is going to be pissed. I'm tying him out for 5 minutes. As in water face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. That's so true. As the fining pot for silver and the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. Though thou shouldest bray a fool in a mortar among wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation? The hay appeareth, and the tender grass showeth itself, and herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, and for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens. 28. We got to get through this. I'm going to get through this. Chapter 28. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. I love that one. That's a great one. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion. For the transgressions of a land are many. For the transgression of a land, many are the princes thereof. But by a man of understanding and knowledge, the state thereof shall be prolonged. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Based. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father. Not righteous men, riotous men. Total opposite thing. Not the same as righteous, riotous. That's one of my favorite proverbs. Tells you how to spot a guilty conscience. The wicked flee when no man pursueth. Yeah. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination, He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Ooh. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit. But the upright shall have good things in possession. The rich man is wise in his own conceit, but the poor that hath understanding searcheth him out. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory, but when the wicked rise, a man is hidden. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. Let's just get through this chapter. Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. As a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. The prince that wanteth understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hateth covetousness shall prolong his days. A man that doeth violence to the blood of any person shall flee to the pit. Let no man stay him. Whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved, but he that is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. To have respect of persons. That can't mean what I think it means. To have respect of persons is not good. Proverbs 28:21 meaning. Need to see a different translation. Showing favoritism or partiality is wrong as it compromises integrity and justice. Someone lacks strong moral principles, they may betray their integrity for trivial gains, symbolized as a piece of bread or small bribes. This verse cautions against allowing personal gain or bias to distort fairness, as even minor temptations can lead to serious ethical compromises. Some will act immorally for a trivial reward. 28:21. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread that man will transgress. What does it mean to have respect of persons is not good? I get for a piece of bread that man will transgress, meaning they would go against their integrity or their values for a small reward. But why does it say to have respect of persons is not good? What would another translation say? Maybe if I find another. To show partiality is never good. For even a morsel of bread, one may do wrong. Okay. So to have respect for persons means to show partiality. Okay, I get it. I get it. God is no respecter of persons, Book of James. To be biased and unjust is not good. Avarice kind of looks like a goat. Well, God shows no favoritisms. Well, I don't know about that. With respect to you, I will treat you with favoritism. Oh, okay. To have respect of persons. So partiality of person, respect of persons, like single individual. Okay, I get it. All right. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not that poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. Whoso robbeth his father or his mother, and saith, it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. I don't want to be made fat, but I get it. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Dang, 30 is a big chapter. Okay. "20 minutes. I got to get through this. We got to go fast through chapter 9. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." I use that verse in my debate with Mosman. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoiceth his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots spendeth his substance. Ooh. The king by judgment establisheth the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Nice. I like that. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. After what? If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. The Lord lighteneth both their eyes. The king that faithfully judgeth the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Huh. Yeah, when it says he'll be made fat, it means prosperous, fulfilled, full. It's not just big old fat guy like a glutton, but like fat like a belly, money, house, family, fat. A servant will not be corrected by words. Wait, where was I? Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish, and he that keepeth the law, happy is he. When the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. Where am I? I'm on 19, I guess. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him. He that delicately bringeth up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Whoso is partner with a thief hateth his own soul. He heareth cursing and bewrayeth it not. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Lord. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Yeah, I know. I don't care. It's what it's not about the thank you for the super chat, but don't be too ply. Man, you like snuggles. I ain't no TP. I ain't no toilet paper. Just because you put it in different symbols doesn't mean that I don't know what you're saying. It's not because of the TOS. It's because it's Bible study. I know the word whore is in the Bible, but You don't gotta keep saying it over again. We get it. You going to timeout super chats, biatch. Oh, if I time out a super chat, do I lose the super chat? We're about to find out. he's gonna refund his money. This is Bible study, Avarice. Act right. Don't you even think about refunding those. I will roast you everywhere forever. Look at that. I still see that he sent super chats and they got hearts by him, but you can't read what he said. Come on, Avarice, tighten up. It's Bible time. It's not act like a crazy person time. Quit being a degen. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Whoso is partner with a thief hateth his own soul. Oh, I already read all this. We're on chapter 30. The words of Agur, the son of Jakeh, even the prophecy, the man spake unto Ithiel, even unto Ithiel and Ukal. This is these last two are not written by Solomon. Well, I think that's what we said, right? At the beginning? Yeah. Lemuel uh Lemuel writes 31 and Agur writes 30. Oh, he's already been timed out. He got 1 minute. 1 minute. He needs to stop annoying me. I don't like people trying to at least have a little bit of time where we at least act somewhat civilly. Holy cow. Just let her listen to the Bible. She's going to hear all those words anyway. Jess would handle family car trip drama like a pro. Yeah, I'd open the door and then I'd turn and turn back real quick. Oh my God. Stop. Stop cussing in my thing. Using all these symbols doesn't make a difference. I know what you're saying. Quit it. Even if his kids said super chats. Yeah. I'd have like a door pop button, which would pop your door open, and I go, and you just go flying out. Tuck and roll, Granny. Okay. 32. Chapter 30, verse 2. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom nor have the knowledge of the holy. Who hath ascended up into heaven? Who hath ascended up into heaven or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. And add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Add thou not unto his words. That's just like the last page of Revelation. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. I like that. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant unto his master, lest he curse thee and thou be found guilty. There is a generation that curseth their father and doth not bless their mother. Yeah, every generation. Like every generation forever does this. Uh, there is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The horse leech hath two daughters, crying, Give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied, yea, four things, say not, it is enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. There be three things which are too wonderful for me, four which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman when she is married, and an handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth all of them by bands. The spider taketh hold with her hands, and is in kings' palaces. There be three things which go well, yea, four are comely in going. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. A greyhound, and a goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. The forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. Bitch is not a Bible word. Avarice. You see, you just made me cuss in the dang Bible stream. I mean, technically, if you call a woman a dog, I guess a female dog. Proverbs 23:27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Don't you agree, Jess? Yeah, we just read that. We just read that like 20 minutes ago. That was in the that's in what we read today. And when we read it, I said, Marilyn. So Matthew Henry says the conies that live in the rocks are like those who find refuge in God. Matthew Henry find refuge in God because they themselves are nothing. Huh. The conies. It says greyhound 8. That can't be. Oh, a horse. So greyhound is another name for a horse. But now we call greyhounds skinny, weird dogs. That's weird. That was an interesting proverb because it's different than all the other proverbs because it's not written by Solomon, so it reads differently than all the other ones. I may have to do a more of a deep dive into that proverb at a later date. Most of it's just like metaphorical stuff. Via the Bible study. I don't know. I don't know if she's out there getting it on with a bunch of dudes. Maybe she was at one point, but I don't know if she still currently is. I don't know. I don't know her day-to-day life. I know she talks like one, but she might just be a dang harlot. I don't know. Chapter 31. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. So this is Lemuel. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. So that means the wine and the liquor, the like liquor and the strong drink is for, if your wife died or something, or somebody in your family died. When it's saying those of heavy hearts, they're going through a rough time, give them a little wine. If they're in their deathbed and they're about to die, give them some strong drink. Give them a little dranky drink. Take the edge off. But other than that, you got to be careful because here, you'll like this. You're going to like this. This is a Proverbs 31 woman. This is the part Marilyn needs to hear. So stop calling her a whore for a second and let her listen to this. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. So wait, if I'm poor, I can drink? Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Dumb is doesn't mean stupid. It means they can't talk. Or no, dumb is deaf, dumb. Dumb means mute means you can't talk. Dumb means doesn't dumb also mean mute? Deaf, dumb, and blind. 10 is when it starts. I know, Auntie. Look, I've got it highlighted. I've I've done a whole Bible study on this years ago. Y'all don't know I've been doing this for 4 years. I've covered it. Okay? Let him drink and forget his open the mouth of the dumb, blah, blah, blah. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. Notice how this woman is not going out and working on another guy's farm. She's not going and working in a mine somewhere for some mining company. She's doing activities at the house to help the house. She's helping the man make financial decisions. Like he'd give her some money, say, we need to find a plot of land, and she'll help find the plot of land. She's knitting sweaters that she can sell on Etsy. You know? She's she's working around the house. She's taking care of the family. She's taking care of the animals. Waking up early, going out feeding the cows. Taking care of the finances while the husband's at work. And she's working too, strengthening her arms. She's working too, but she's not working for another man. She's working in the house. Goodness, drink some water? Why? I'm out of water. Look. Dumb, I thought was mute and deaf. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, something like that. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She ain't worried about nobody freezing. You know why? Cause she knit sweaters for everybody. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of the household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. And that is the Proverbs 31 woman. That's how to be a good woman right there. And that is it for Proverbs. We're done with another one. Okay, let me see how. So Ecclesiastes is 11 verses. Or chapters, I mean. They're not huge chapters. We'll probably do Ecclesiastes tomorrow. And then the next day, we'll do Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon's really short. I think it's only 4 chapters. Oh, no, it's 8 chapters. We'll do Song of Solomon, and then maybe we'll read about it, because I did a Dreaded Conservative show a long time ago, and I did like a 2-hour segment on Song of Solomon. And I called it I think I called it the most controversial book in the Bible. Because when you're in Christian school, you never read from Song of Solomon when you're in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade Christian school. They never take you to Song of Solomon. We would memorize whole chapters in elementary school when I went to Christian school. We never read from Song of Solomon. And I always wondered why. But then I hear rumblings about Song of Solomon is a book about sex. Or it talks about sex. And I was like, what? Ecclesiastes has 12 chapters? What happened to chapter 12? It's probably in there and I just looked at it wrong. It was probably on the other page. I just didn't see it. So we'll read Song of Solomon, and then I'll tell you what a lot of people, what most Christians will say that it means. Yeah, there is 12. And how people will kind of like, because people will say, why is Song of Solomon in the Bible? Oh, it's just about sex. And they'll be like, well, this is what it's a metaphor for this. I think that's another one of those like ad hoc softening things. I have a different theory. And I'll tell you my theory. I don't know that I'm right, but I think I'm right. And then people will probably be like, oh, look at Jay's heretical. He's doing exegesis. No, I'm just going to read it to you. I'm just going to read it to you. And I'll show you. Just for a little hint, I believe Song of Solomon is a book of forbidden love. Wrong love, like lust that you're not supposed to do. Slave women, princesses from other lands, and your sister. You're not supposed to sleep with them. You're not supposed to sleep with your sister. You're not supposed to sleep with your slave. And you're not supposed to sleep with the strange woman from another land. And Solomon talks about all three. And assuming Solomon wrote it, which we don't even know that. Some people think a woman wrote it. It is very feminine writing. It's not his but I mean Solomon, I don't know. But we'll go I'll explain it. What you'll hear, and if you look into it, what it's going to say is that it's a metaphor for Jesus in the church. That's what Song of Solomon is about. It's a metaphor about Jesus being the bridegroom of the church. I would bet 100% of church history disagrees with you. Yeah, I don't care. I think they're trying to cover up for something that they don't want. They don't want to confess that Solomon was writing about sleeping with his sister. He doesn't say that he slept with his sister, but he says he was thinking about it, and then he knew he couldn't do it. He shouldn't do it. I don't really care what church history agrees or disagrees with because they would have a reason to post hoc justify this and make up something like it's a metaphor about Jesus in the church. Oh, that thou wert as my brother and sucked the breast of my mother. When I should find thee without, I would kiss thee. I would despise thee. I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house, who would instruct me. His left hand should be under my head, and his right hand should embrace me. That's missionary position, by the way. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem. Um, we have a little sister, and she hath no breast. What shall we do for our sister in the day which she should be spoken for? If she be a wall, we will build upon her a place of silver. I am the wall. Solomon had a vineyard. Um, Beautiful are thy feet, shoes, O prince's daughter. Joints of thy thighs are like jewels of work with hands of cunning. Navel is a round gauntlet. Two breasts are like two young robes. This is about his Solomon's sister, by the way. I don't care what any church history says. That's what it says. So, and then the first one, it's three women. The first one is a slave woman, the black and comely woman. She's working out in the field, and he knows he's not supposed to be sleeping with a slave, but he was tempted. Now, I believe he didn't actually sleep with these people. I believe that he was tempted and he felt an attraction, and that the purpose of the book is to tell you what not to do. Yeah, that's a heretical take for sure. Well, yeah, Orthodox would say that your whole religion's heretical, so that doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't mean anything to me when people say it's heretical. That's what it says. That's what the words say. So I know Christians have to like go back and post hoc cover up stuff because it looks bad, but that's what it says. So I'll make it make sense, and I don't care if people think it's heretical. I know how to read, and I know how to comprehend, and I know how to understand, and I've listened to all of the explanations, and none of them make sense. What makes sense is read what it says, understand Solomon, understand the poetry of the time. We've read Proverbs, we've read King, Samuel, Chronicles. We know this style of writing. It's not hard to interpret what the book says. So, Ortho, Catholics, and Protestants stand together against that take. I'm sure they do. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I wonder why. because you have to cover it up. You have to justify it, so you just make up some metaphor. I get it. I get it. But we'll read it and then we'll say this is what this is supposed to mean. Let's read it. Does that make any sense to you? No, it's not going to make any sense to you. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. You can I'll give you or well, you guys already reexamination already knows uh what it's supposed to mean. So I'll read it and then I'll explain what the common acceptable narrative is for what it means, and I'll go over that. That's fine. But then I'm gonna go through and break it down piece by piece for you. I wrote bling bling, black slave prostitute, charging him for sex. That's chapter 1. I don't know though. It's possible that it's only 2 women and that it's talking about the same woman twice, but the last woman is definitely his sister. Um, if anybody denies that, then they're just lying. That's what it says. So they're lying and they're trying to cover up something, which I don't appreciate that. That would mean the Jews canonize a book that has nothing bad to say. No, I'm telling you. I just said that it's forbidden love. And also, Abraham married his sister. So I think Abraham and his half sister and is it Isaac? Somebody else married their half sister. Was it Jacob? Was it Isaac? I think Abraham and Isaac. But yeah. Abraham married his half sister, so no, the point is anyway, save this. We'll do this another time. I gotta go to bed. Abraham was born before Leviticus 18. Okay. So that make it okay? That's fine. I mean, people can twist up the scriptures however they want. I'm not gonna do that though. So I'm just gonna read it and we'll see what it says. So just be ready. But anyway, not judging, just didn't expect it. Well, read it for yourselves before I read it. And then you can go to gotquestions.org and they'll tell you that it's a metaphor for Jesus's bridegroom with the church. Jesus being the bridegroom to the church. That's what it means. But you should have read it before you heard that explanation, because now if you go into it thinking that, you're going to read that into it, but it's impossible. You're not going to be able to read that into it because it doesn't say anything like that. It says exactly what it says. It's very clear. So so just be ready. But we got Ecclesiastes first, I think, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm leaving. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Goodbye. Should I raid somebody? I don't even care to raid anybody. Burn it down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Avarice, I'm gonna put you in timeout again. Are we rating? I don't know who. I don't know who we're rating to. What you gonna do? Jim Bob? Nah. We'll go to Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. Your notes are gonna crack me. I think I read all my notes. I don't have a lot of notes in that. I have a notebook with a ton of notes in it, and then I have a video that I did a couple years ago about it. Yeah, I went through verse by verse I went through verse by verse through all of Song of Solomon. I read it like 3 times uh in the stream. I went through every piece, and then I read all of the explanations from like gotquestions.org and all the Catholic answers and all those things. And yeah, bling bling. It talks about her bling bling, her jewelry. Uh James Robert, the Jim Bob. Jim. Is his name really James Robert? James Robert, Jim Bob. I get it. No, we're going to Anchor Baby. All right, bye guys. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Deuces.